How much do you actually need to know about your client's world to coach them effectively? This question keeps new coaches up at night. And here's the answer that might surprise you. Less complete information than you think, but more intentional listening than you might realize. Let's talk about finding that balance. I see this pattern all the time with coaches in training. They worry they can't be effective without knowing their client's full backstory, every detail of their organization, every relationship dynamic at play. And that worry, it actually gets in the way of coaching. Here's what I've learned after training hundreds of coaches. You don't need to become an expert in your client's world. You need enough understanding to hear what lies beneath their words. Those are very different things. One requires research. The other requires presence. The ICF marker we're working with says the coach considers the client's context, identity, environment, experiences, values, and beliefs to enhance understanding. Pay attention to what that doesn't say. It doesn't say master their context. It doesn't say become an expert in their world. The purpose is to enhance your understanding, not to solve their problems for them. Context serves your ability to hear them more deeply. That's it. You're using what you learn to ask better questions, not to give better advice. So let me give you what I call the enough standard. First, release the pressure. You don't need complete understanding of every aspect of your client's situation before you can coach effectively. Second, seek sufficient context. You need enough to hear what's underneath their words, the emotions, values, and beliefs driving their thinking. Third, let it emerge naturally. Context reveals itself through deep listening, not through interrogation. You gather it organically as they speak. And fourth, trust the process. When you listen with intention and curiosity about their inner experience, the context you need will reveal itself. You don't have to chase it. Let me show you what this looks like in a real session. Your client mentions feeling pressure from their team. Now you understand they're navigating interpersonal dynamics at work. A few minutes later, they reference young kids at home. Now you're hearing their challenges through a lens of competing priorities and limited time. Then they share news of a recent promotion. Suddenly you recognize their words may carry the weight of new responsibilities and heightened expectations. You see what's happening. You didn't ask a single background question. You just listened. And now you're hearing everything they say through these lenses without needing to know every detail of their situation. Now let me be direct about what gets in the way here. Over-researching clients before sessions. I see coaches doing deep dives on LinkedIn, reading every article about their client's company. And what does that create? Assumptions rather than openness. Asking clarifying questions for your own curiosity, not their growth. Stay focused on their agenda, not your information gaps. And this one is big, believing you can't coach effectively without knowing their whole situation. That belief delays the real work. Trust that asking the right questions is more valuable than knowing all the facts. Your power as a coach comes from curiosity, not from information gathering. So here's what I want you to take away from this. You are listening, not investigating. Your role is to hear deeply what your client shares, not to gather facts or conduct research into their circumstances. The context you gather naturally informs the questions you ask, but it doesn't replace the need to ask powerful questions. We don't have to be in deep detail, but we do have to consider what's happening around them and use that to put the pieces together to get the bigger story the client is trying to communicate. Coming up next, what to do with what you hear. We'll explore reflecting and summarizing to deepen client awareness and insight.